Hi everybody, hello and welcome. Welcome to this Tuesday live stream. So I am really excited because normally on a Tuesday I do card readings and and I offer some love to everybody. But instead of doing that tonight, I have the honor. And there he is right away. I have the honor of connecting with the most beautiful soul ever, Jerome. So I'm going to invite him onto. Ah, there you are. I'm going to invite him onto this because a couple of weeks ago, Jerome did me the honor of connecting with me live on air. Ah, there he is. I was just saying a couple of weeks ago, I had the honor of connecting with you live on air, and I get to return that favor. I get to return that joy and connect with you and ask you the questions. And right on cue, here you are, here
Oh,
you were with that beautiful flute. Oh,
here we are again, back with the eternal being of love and union, the
oh my
divine channel.
gosh.
Come on now.
Oh my gosh, I am so excited. Seriously, I have like one of my friends today used the word bubbles. I have bubbles inside me, and I'm like, oh, I like that. I'm effervescing. That's how I feel connecting with you right now. I feel effervescent, and it's such
Wow.
an honor. It's such a blessing. It's such a
You got
blessing.
the bubbles, Alice. You got the heart bumps. Yeah.
I have, and rightly so. Look who's opposite the camera with me. Wow. Oh my gosh. Oh, thank
Would you
you.
call this? I love this. Would you call it
What?
nourishment for the soul with
Yeah.
wonderful? Ah, you too kind. You too sweet. You sweet. You like
Oh.
candy. You like candy. You sweet.
Well, I don't think I've ever met anyone who has the beautiful vernacular that you do, the way that you articulate the feelings and the sensations that run through you, and your perception of the world is just utterly nourishing,
Wow.
right? And just
Wow.
touches everyone in a very unique way.
Mm,
Right.
mm.
So how else could I have
Thank you.
called that?
Thank you for that. I received that reflection. Thank you for that connection because your vernacular is also spectacular, you know? And I enjoy having this dance of dialogue with you that we do because it really is connection nourishment, you know?
Mm.
It is. Yeah.
Absolutely. And, not to dive straight into it here, but that word nourishment, I want to know, Jerome, what does that mean to you?
Oh my God.
I
Wow.
know. I just went straight in there. There was like no foreplay or anything. I'm like straight in there. I'm like, what is nourishment? We've said that word quite a lot
Mhm,
already. Come
mhm.
on, let's go there.
You just gonna dive in. You
I
just
just
gonna
go
dive
straight in.
straight in.
I go straight in. I'm like, I'm eager. I'm eager for you right now. I'm like, yeah, come
Oh
on.
my God. Yeah, there's so many forms of nourishment. I enjoy
Mm.
the ones that we've been thinking about lately that we've been coming up with have been like connection nourishment, like the conversational cuisine. You know, you can have what they call a breath breakfast. Lately, you've been talking a lot about breath, right?
Oh, I
Right.
have. I
So
have.
you can have a breath breakfast. You can have a bliss buffet. You know, you can have a laughter lunch. We're gonna have a lot of laughter in here. We're gonna
Yes.
have a dance dinner. You know what I'm saying? Lately,
Oh
you've
my
been talking about
gosh.
Alice. You've been putting people on the sun scanning, right? So you can have a
Yeah.
sunset supper. You
Yeah.
know, the sunlight can be your supper. It can fill you up with that light, like you said before, with
Mhm.
the eyes that are like chalices that hold the light.
Oh,
So there's so many
you
forms of nourishment. Yeah, yeah,
you've been
like
doing
energy,
your
energy, energy.
research as well on
Hmm.
what I've been posting. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, you put it out there for us. Hmm. Hmm.
So to everybody that is watching, I just want to say thank you for being here live on the replay. However you are showing up, wherever you're watching this, thank you for being here with us. So
Hmm.
the honor of being right here with Jerome right now, I get to ask him some questions, and so do you, right? We get to find out who this magical mystique is, who's often the one asking and posing the questions and sharing the wisdom of the world through everyone's individual interpretation, through his wonderful interviews, his podcast, his incredible channel. And, you know, if you're vibing with the energy that we're putting out here, please do drop him a like and have a look at some of his offerings and some of his posts, because Jerome, you've been interviewing people now on your channel for, wow, for how long? For a very long time. I feel I'm scrolling through going, there's so much wisdom.
Yeah, everyone has something to teach us. You know, I feel like everyone is my teacher in some way. There was a quote, I think it was like Ralph Waldo Emerson, that said something to the terms of, everyone is superior to me in some way, and in that I may learn of him. You know, I may learn of that person when I understand that there's something that they know that I may not know. Or perhaps we're both, you know, remembering together, you know, something that they know that can tap into something that I have within me, but I haven't tapped into yet. So you can tap into that with someone else.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that remembering together as well, you said. Wow. What is that? What is that for you? Like, how do you remember with someone?
Yeah. You know, it's kind of like, Alice, the other day I was watching a video with you and you were schooling us on aerokinesis, you know, the kinesis.
I don't know how I can school someone like you who is the actual airbender. I saw that story you posted, you playing with that delightful breath of life around you.
Well, you told us, you know, you said Earth is a mystery school, you know, and you said that we're embodying, when we're doing the prana feasting, that we're doing an embodiment of mystery school teachings.
Yes.
And so when you were putting me on that, that was like us remembering together. It was like, oh my gosh, you know, that moment when it clicks, when you have that epiphany, that realization, it's like, it clicks for you because it's something that you already knew. But it's, you know, you're tapping into it together. You're remembering together with another person, with another being. So I feel like it's an honor to be able to do that, you know, to be able to put the pieces of the puzzle together. Yeah.
Absolutely. Wow. And when did you first start realizing that you were not only kind of tapping into this memory that you had on a soul level, you know, something that you already knew, but when did you start actually going, wow, okay, no, I need to share this? When did that start happening? Has it been a forever thing, or?
Yeah, that's a really great question. You know, like they say, sharing is caring.
Absolutely.
And they also say that people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. You know, so when you're sharing, that's a demonstration that you care enough. You care enough to share. And then when you're listening, which you're so effortlessly doing, you care enough to know what someone else has to say. So when you're asking these questions, I feel like questions are the answer. You have to be wise to be able to ask questions, because in the act of asking, you're saying, I don't know everything. You know, I would like to know something more about you. I would like to know more about this person that's sitting across from me, you know, gazing back. I would love to know more about what is the motivation that moves you, that allows you to maneuver in and out this matrix. You know, what is the things that move you and groove you? So when I got into that with other people, and I feel particularly privileged because I was coming up telling myself and being told that I had problems with this, that I had issues paying attention, that I had issues focusing, that I had attention deficit hyperactivity disorders, and that I needed medication and pharmaceuticals in order to do these things that a functioning person should be able to do. And so when I allowed that story and that narrative to govern the workings of my mind, it took a lot of time. You know, it took a lot of time to work through that and to be able to sit down and to talk it out with someone. There were so many counselors, psychotherapists, psychologists, and psychiatrists that prescribed things to me. But one thing that they did that I learned from them, and I didn't even know I was learning this, was they listened. And when they listened to me, I didn't know until later on, years later, that they were teaching me to do that for someone else.
Wow.
So that's part of what I enjoy doing, you know, and
So
it feels good.
I'm going to ask the question because, and that could be any question based off what you've just said, but I'm just going to ask a very simple question here, just for a definition from your perspective. What is listening then? Because you said that all these people were very great listeners. They taught you to do that. But what is listening?
That's interesting that you say that, because I've actually been exploring listening lately, and the different types of listening, like active listening, passive listening, and even listening in a reflective way, where we're able to reflect back what a person has spoken to us. You know, Oprah is someone who, I mean, she's a billionaire. She's done so many countless interviews, right? And she's just sat across from somebody else and just been listening. But she's doing more than that. You know, what she said that really stuck with me is that of all the countless interviews that she's had with people from far and wide, from different countries and continents, you know, prime ministers and presidents, like all these different, you know, just intimidating forces that would be, for the average person, they would be very intimidating. You know, they'd be like, like, how do I talk to this person? She said that there was one crucial thing, a component that was linked to every single person that she talked to. And it was, did you hear me? And did what I say matter?
Ooh.
And she said if she could think of those two things, that everyone at the core of them just wants to be heard.
Yeah.
Did you hear what I said? And did what I say matter? You know? And when she understood that intuitively, she could go into any interview with confidence.
Wow.
You know? Because that was it. That was it. Yeah.
Wow. Because I have to say, the way that you connect with someone, especially in the interviews that I've seen you post, the way that you connected with me that first time that we spoke together here, the way that you are able to so humbly, you know, hear someone, reflect back and choose some very poignant keywords, right? Very, very poignant keywords that just help someone elaborate so deeply. But also the way that you have this, and it's to me, I see that you have this vast knowledge, but you never steal the limelight, right? Because you want to hear and allow someone else to share their perspective. Because I heard you talk with someone the other day. I think it was actually Zen Black Sheep last night, and you asked him about the meridians when he was going through acupuncture, and I was like, see, only someone who knows about that topic could ask that particular question. And considering, you know, and I want to hear more about your story as well, when, you know, growing up and how you came to have that, you know, all those counselors and psychotherapists and all that, and everyone wanted to prescribe you medication, saying that, you know, you didn't have the attention, because to be able to do what you do right now, you've mastered something you were told you weren't able to do.
Wow. You know, Alice, it's interesting that you use that word mastered, because I feel like we're all in a process, in a progress, and in a development, a level of mastery. And you call us master humans. I've heard you address us. Like you said this, that even when we were talking about the kinesises, you called it honing our true skills. You know, honing the true skills that each one of us has. And you address us as master humans. I never heard anybody use that word before, humans. Master human. Why do you use that?
Oh, why do you think?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I can tell you my perspective, but I also want to hear yours, and I want to hear yours first, if that's okay. And it's okay if you don't want to, but I'd love to hear yours first, because you picked up on that.
Right. You know, I picked up on that because I do feel like in life I've gone through different levels of mastery. And I'm still going through those different levels all the time. I mean, you just talked about our conversation with Sean Mack, the Zen Black Sheep.
That's his name. Thank you.
Yeah. And so he was talking about how small incremental changes can grow to big changes, you know? So that level of mastery, and how we're always constantly learning, and how we never stop learning. I remember hearing that, you know, Michelangelo, one of the greatest, you know, sculptors, painters, inventors, when he was approaching his deathbed, you know, at the age of 83 or so, he said, "Ancora imparu," which I might be butchering in Italian, but it means, I am still learning.
Yeah.
you know? And the man
Always the
he was in his
student.
80s and he's saying, I'm still learning, you know? So who are we, you know?
Absolutely. So it really begs the question, what is in a word, right? What is
Right,
in a word? And where does that get defined?
right.
I was having a conversation with someone the other day who seemed to have a bit of a fear around certain words, because
Mm,
their understanding of the origin of that word, but then we all have our different perceptions and ways that we connect with the vibration that underlies the action, the word, the thought, etc. you know, I just find it really, really fascinating because, really what is in that word. And
yeah.
the way that I intend, like the master, the word of master, because we are all students.
Mhm.
And when I say master human, I think it really just means to be present. That's the way I want to intend it,
Okay.
right? And it's curious as to how people receive that and perceive that. And sometimes it'll be triggering for some. And sometimes it'll be validating for others, validating their
Mm,
worth of why they're here, right? I do know how to do this. I do remember this. I just have to
mhm.
practice a bit more.
Yeah,
But this
yeah.
isn't about me. This time is about you. This time is about you. We want to get to know you, you
No,
know?
thank you for explaining that because I wanted
Yeah.
to learn that from you because I've heard you say
Mm.
that and I've also heard you talk about our triggers and the
Yeah.
different things that trigger us. So
Mhm.
I just love these topics that you're putting out for us so
Right?
graciously and on all these chronic Sundays and you're just putting out this information on the platform and you're just giving it freely. So I really appreciate it. And I know a lot of people do too.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you. And I say in every video, we're learning together because,
Hmm.
like, I am no
Hmm.
master at any of them, but I
Yeah.
will use that word, right?
Right.
I will use that word. And I just want to do a little shout out to the people that are joining us right now. We've got like so many people that are just jumping on, and I wish I could wave to you all. I'm just going to do it like this.
Awesome.
Hi, everybody. But there's someone here. Who's that? Starcast89 says, my man. So I'm presuming that's to you. Is that one of your friends? Is that one of your soul family?
Hey there, hey there. Awesome, awesome. Shout out.
Yeah. Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
So, Jerome, the breath.
Mm-hmm.
The breath of life,
Mm-hmm.
that nourishment,
Mm-hmm.
the breatharian way, right? Can I go straight into this topic? What is your diet right now? What do you consume? What do you thrive and survive and love and live off? You know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm.
So lately we've been jamming with the juices, we've been
Yeah.
thriving with the different I enjoy like I like I get naked a lot, you know? And
Uh-huh.
so naked is something that I've been going into. Have you ever gotten naked?
Oh yeah. I mean every night, of course, but I mean like just in general, yeah.
The juice, the naked juice.
Oh, I just thought you meant just take everything off. I'm like, yeah, let's
No.
do that as well. Why not? What a way to lead this video. I'm like, all right, Jerome.
It's a brand.
That took an
Do they have that
unexpected
where you
turn.
do they have that where you do they have that brand, that juice?
They do have that brand over here. Yeah, they
Okay,
do.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So every
What's in a
time
word?
so yeah, naked is something I
Yeah.
like to get. And then also there's another one, there's a blueberry one, there's
Mm.
the pineapple ginger, and then coconut water. I love coconut water.
Oh.
So these are things that I enjoy
Mm-hmm.
imbibing. These are things that allow me to be thriving.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so when I'm on more liquids, less
Mm-hmm.
solids, I
Mm-hmm.
feel more myself. I feel more clarity. But my
Uh-huh.
journey with chronic living has not been a straight line by any means. It's definitely been a roller coaster. It's been like a wave.
Uh-huh.
It's been a wave for sure. So it's been up and down, in and out, back and forth.
Mm.
And we're just constantly moving towards that direction, holding the vision. Like they say, if you
Mm.
can hold it in your mind, if you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand.
So, what is your vision? What's your vision of the pranic lifestyle? What does that mean? For anyone that doesn't even know what prana is, right?
Yeah,
What does
yeah.
that mean? What does it mean to you?
For me, it means
Oh.
freedom,
Mm.
freedom. And I love Jasmine. She's kind of like the godmother of breatharianism when it comes to bringing this information back in this age. She talks about freedom from all hungers. We have so many types of hunger. We have the physical hunger, the mental hunger, the emotional hunger, the spiritual hunger. And
Mm.
if you can imagine just being free from all hungers, but still having, you know, something within you, a yearning and a burning desire to be able to go in a direction and be detached at the same time. That's power, you know, that's powerful. So yeah, that level of detachment from the things that we have attached ourselves to, the levels of stimulation, I think it can be conducive for the level of conductivity, I guess, to bring you to a better vibration, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how do you measure your vibration? I'm just gonna like pull all these little questions out there because I think like there's that you ask such poignant, powerful questions to everyone, and I'm like, I just want to bring it back to basics here and like and just ask you and obviously if anyone is watching this, please feel very welcome to ask the questions. We'll make sure to scroll through the comments as we go along. Hi Caribou, Canadian R, and someone is saying
Oh,
valuable
Somos, I
stuff.
know him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Much love, much love.
Oh, look at that. Oh my gosh. Yeah, and where were we going with that then? I'm just kind of like
Well, yeah, bringing it back to basics, you
bringing it
know,
back to
with
basics.
yeah, with the breath, like you said the other day, you were talking about Wim Hof breathing. You even guided us through a session, and I love how you did it. You know, I was
How
doing
do
it.
you
I was
find the
breathing
time
with
in
you.
the day? Wow. You've like watched all my videos recently.
You put it out there for us.
I put it out there because I want to share, and just like you put it out there, but not only what you're doing as well. And this is the thing, everyone, like everyone watching this, you need to check out this guy's stories, right? Because there's little like nuggets that don't necessarily go on his posts as well, right? So Jerome, you know, you put some really cool stuff. You put some really cool stuff on your stories. Like I'm still going back to that video of you airbending. What was that?
Well, it's like, you know, I'm learning what you were telling me about, well, and I feel like when I say you're telling me, you're telling us, but I feel like you're talking to me. You know, when I'm looking at you in these videos and I'm watching you, Alice, I feel like you're speaking directly to me. You're
Oh,
talking directly to my situation. You know, you do these readings and you do these speeches. Like it really just speaks to the heart of a person, and you know how to penetrate, you know?
oh.
And your accent is a plus as well. I love listening to your voice, just in general.
The
But
ever moving and flowing accent.
yeah, yeah. So when you were talking about Wim Hof breathing, and you were talking about, you know, even just tapping in with the aerokinesis and then developing a new relationship with the air, you talked about give the air a color. You know, imagine that there's a stream of air flowing. Whenever you see a leaf moving, whenever you see the blades of grass floating in the wind, imagine what the air is looking like as it's passing through, you know? So I really enjoyed the visuals and the imagery that you provide. Yeah.
Thank you. And so when I saw you, and for anyone watching, the video that I saw of Jerome, you must have been practicing your Qigong. You must have been receiving that, you know, building that beautiful prana, because I was like, he's getting some nourishment right there. Look at that. And then the air was dancing with him, with you, around you. The leaves were like going where you were moving the air. And then when you came to center, everything stopped.
Wow.
What did that feel like? How did you experience that? And did you know that the air was doing that around you?
You know, one of the most powerful things that we have, Alice, and I know you know this, imagination, you know? And I remember hearing something from Albert Einstein. He said, imagination is more important than knowledge, because knowledge can take you from A to B, but imagination can take you anywhere, you know? It can take you everywhere, right? And you've even talked about this too, about being able to go instantly to even other planets, to talk with other beings, to have conversations and to interact with, you know, the archangels and all these other, and it's like that level of imagination was blowing my mind, because I had not even up until that point even imagined, like you can go into a forest and you can hear the whispers in the trees. I don't know if you've ever seen like Pocahontas. There was a song in Pocahontas called The Colors of the Wind. And there was some kind of willow tree, like Grandma Willow, that had a voice and was talking or something like that. We can actually communicate, you know, with nature, that we are nature. So to use our imagination in that way, and to understand that we have an ebb and flow with life, that there's a rhythm in life, that we can be harmonious, that we can sing a song and we can be melodious and we can flow with the stream of nature that's ever flowing within our being, that's a treasure, you know? That's a treasure. Yeah.
And when you're so connected and in that space of alignment, I mean, do the words always flow to you in this beautiful poetic way? Because you have such a relationship with articulation, with the sounds that are being breathed and spoken from you. Is that a 24/7 thing? Is that a oh, I know I'm in alignment when everything is it just sounds delicious,
I love how you say that. It sounds delicious. It's like
It
you can
does.
taste the words. It's
Oh, I
delectable,
can. I can
you know?
taste it. I can taste it. I can. Ah, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh
I
my
get very
gosh.
excited by these words.
Yeah, yeah. The words are stricken, finger licking, you know. It's lovely.
Yes.
So, like you were saying, Alice, with being centered in that type of circulation, for me, I always go back to that preparation, which for me is meditation. So that's where I get the breath, the respiration, the exhalation, the inhalation, and that's how I kind of tap into whatever it is, and I don't always have a word for it. It's just kind of, like you say, channeling. You're able to channel. So I like that word. I like channeling.
Yeah, because that's yeah. When the body is as clear and as clean as you've
Yeah.
gotten yours to be, it just flows, seamlessly, right? So the flute. Oh, we've got a couple of questions. Do you mind if we answer some questions here? I think they want to hear what your thoughts are here, if that's all right. So I just want to say hi to Dana. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, forgive me if I don't say this handle correctly, but Zoa Zodu says, "What's your thoughts about selecting the environment for fasting?"
Oh my gosh. Great question. Who said that
Right?
again?
Zoa K Zodu.
Zoa K Zodu. Okay, shout out to
Yeah.
Zodu. Thank you, Zodu, for the question, the lovely question. The environment can be so key. We've mentioned this before. It can often feel that success can be effortless in the right environment, whereas success can feel almost impossible in the wrong environment. And I know you know about going to different environments. I mean, you've gone to Stonehenge, you've gone to all these different places, and you felt the energy and the frequency of those locations, and understanding that when you're in another environment and feeling the energy of that environment, that energy rubs off on you. And also the individuals, the people as well, who you're around is also affecting you on that level, whether consciously or unconsciously. So when I understood, when I drove to California and I was hanging around family members that, were eating and consuming all types of things that I used to consume, all types of animal products, animal flesh, like everything, that environment wasn't the best environment for me to branch off. But when I branched off energetically, there were forces that happened that allowed me to separate physically. It was like I didn't even have to try. It just happened on its own. I just ended up having this exodus, and this sojourn over there. And I looked up, meet up. Okay, there's a meditation seminar. Okay, let me go over here. I wonder what's happening. Oh, I might not make it. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. Okay, just go anyway. We'll see. Then I go and I meet these Burmese, monks and nuns. They're teaching a meditation seminar. I attend the seminar. They teach me about impermanent nature. They teach me about why we suffer. They teach me about these things in the mind and these spiritual things that I never heard of before. And then after the seminar, they invite me over to their meditation center. Like they invite me to their monastery. They say, you can come with us. You can stay with us if you'd like, free of charge in California. And I'm like, what is this? What love is this? What kindness is this? What joy is this? So I go and I went and I followed that knowing, that intuition, that maybe something will come of this. And then being in their environment, meditating in their environment. I seen men and women, mostly women, that were so strong. I mean, you're talking about strength. Usually in the Western world, when we think of strength, we think of like, you know, lifting weights, strong physically and stuff. Yeah, yeah, like, you know. But when I was talking about strength, I'm sitting down, we're all sitting down, cross-legged in the lotus, meditating together in a room full of mostly women. They're mostly all Burmese speaking. So they're from Myanmar. Somebody's on the microphone in robes and he's talking. And when he went over to English, I felt like he was speaking to me because I was one of the only English speakers in the meditation. We meditated for that whole weekend. And so we would meditate, we would sit for an hour, we would walk for an hour, slowly walking mindfully, and then we would stand for like 30 minutes, and then we would sit down for another hour. And when I watched these women, Alice, that were just sitting, and my legs are on fire, my legs are just burning, like I feel like I'm gonna die, you know? And I'm looking around, all these powerful, like, they're just like, boom, you know? And I'm just thinking, like, how many years have they been meditating? And the guy on the mic, the monk in the robes, he said something. I'll never forget what he said, Alice. He said, I have never seen someone's legs break from meditation. Ooh. And I said, oh, I feel like he was speaking to me because he knew my pain. He could feel my pain. He knew. Element, you know? And so he pushed me just a little bit more, like 10 more minutes, you know, 5 more. You can do it. You can do it. You got it. And being in that environment was an ultimate level up, because that's when I started doing research. That's when I started figuring out, oh, wow, the head monk here, Sayadaw, they call him Sayadaw, the head monk had been on a liquid diet for the last 2 years, had not consumed any solid food. I said, how was that possible? I had never before known that that was even possible. This was 2019. Then I started researching online.
I love how you can use sound effects too.
What? Liquidarian? What is this? What? And then I found those people, and then I found the environment. Now I'm on a pranic retreat with Elitam. Now I'm going to meet Shayna Dean. Now I'm going to meet Rocky Shari. Now I'm having all these mentors that flowed in to my life because I changed my environment. Now, if I was still stuck back in the environment that I was talking to you about, with my family members, cooking the sausages, you know, whipping the links, and boy, you better eat this meat. Boy, you better eat this food. You crazy. Boy, this is good. You know, all that stuff. If I had stayed back in those environments, it would have been a little bit more difficult to imagine a new environment, right?
Yeah.
So being around like-minded individuals, it helps.
And, you know, they say, don't they, that, you know, you're an average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. But then, you know, when you were with those monks, it must have been what, like 30, 40, 100, you know, more. There's more than 5, right? You know, so to have all of that around you. Now, I'm curious, what do you think it was? Because you said, you know, like, you know, this retreat open, I get to connect with this teacher, this, like, you know, this person, this person, this person. It all flowed after you took yourself out of that initial environment, that initial dynamic. I have 2 questions here. The first one is, what do you think it was that was flowing through you and to you to bring all those opportunities to surround you? That's my first question. But the second one, it kind of takes it a little bit further back. And when did you first have what ran through your mind and your body when you decided to leave that environment in the first place? How old were you? What happened? Whatever you want to share.
Yeah. So, you know, the first word that came to me was alignment. You know, that was the first word that hit me when you asked me that. And it reminds me of the time we were talking last time, Alice, about Kundalini awakening, the Kundalini in the body. Yes. The only time I've ever felt that was after a long meditation and a long Qigong session. And after that session, after that meditation, my body, something just clicked. It was like something just snapped, and it was blissful. It was like an energetic orgasm. Yes. And it was like electricity all up and down my spine, up and down all day long. it was like a switch had just been cut on, and I just came into alignment, and it only happened for that entire day. It lasted for the day, and then never happened again. I've never felt like that again. But to have something like that happen, that kind of experience from meditation, from your own energy, it blew my mind. I was like, I had no idea this was even possible. So on one hand, when you talk about coming into alignment, the way that I view it is a mind that is stretched by a new idea can never return to its original dimensions. You know, I heard that by Oliver Wendell Holmes Jr. And when you understand that, when you stretch yourself in that way, it's like you're living in a new reality. You know, one of my mentors talks about how before he was vegetarian, he didn't really hang with vegetarians. You know, he was hanging with people who consumed animal flesh. When he became vegetarian, then he saw vegetarian restaurants, all sorts of things popped up. He wasn't really seeing the McDonald's, and he wasn't really seeing the Burger King, but he was seeing more of these vegetarian and vegan restaurants. And then all of these vegan relationships started popping. He started meeting more vegans, right?
Yes.
He's like, where were you guys? You know, and it was right in his city. He had
Where
no
have you
idea.
been all my life?
Right. Then when he started tapping into chronic living, now he's meeting breatharians. Now he's having talk with breatharians. Now he's like, what's after this?
So what came first, though?
You know?
Hey, what came first? Did he tap into it? Did he start practicing it? Or did they arrive just at the perfect moment?
Right.
Yeah.
So that's a great question to ask. You know, what came first? Like they say, the chicken or the egg?
Yeah.
Will we know? Will we ever know what came first? But as we expand, I think things start to become attracted to you as you grow that level of attraction, as you increase your gravitational field, the energetic pull, you're drawing things in. Kind of like the way I'm drawn to you, right? We're drawn to each other. We've increased that intensity, the heart space that you always talk about, Alice. Yeah. And it's bringing us back together again, you know?
Yeah. Oh, a beautiful, powerful, yet humbling reunion. Full of electricity. It's wonderful. Yeah. So let's take it right back. What was it like growing up? What was it like for you growing up? What was the experience that you had? Because I remember when you and I spoke last time, we said, you know, our challenges define what we're here to master, what we're here to teach, right? You know, what our soul path is. And, you know, you connect so many people. You share such wisdom. You broaden the mind. You allow, not even allow, that's the wrong word, you enable and invite, I think probably is the best word, that you invite people to just blow the walls out, right? You know, of the beliefs that have been conditioned around them. But what was it like for you? How did you first do that for yourself? Because before we can invite another to do that, we usually, I would say, have to do that for ourselves, right?
Very true. Very true. I've always been inspired by others, you know. There's always something about a person that will either inspire me, empower me, or enlighten me in some new way. And when I'm able to find that thread, I'm able to follow the breadcrumbs of my curiosity and just walk down that road. I'm able to see, like, behind the curtain, kind of like your own Wizard of Oz, so to speak, you know? And you're able to take a peek into somebody's mind, into somebody's life. You find pieces of them that lie within you as well. And when you can connect those pieces together, you know, you can lift each other when you empower that. Yeah, so those are the types of qualities that I always search for. And I think that I've trained my mind at this point to find them. You know, I love playing like Sudoku. You ever seen Sudoku puzzles?
Yeah, I love Sudokus.
So Sudoku, it's like, what number goes in this box? You know, what is the number? And you like rack your mind trying to figure out what is this number. And you can spend like hours on one little box, like what goes in this box? And when you've trained your mind to be oriented in that way, to find the number, to find the answer, whatever you are seeking, you will find it. And that's one of the things that allowed me to go to California without fear, where there were so many people here that said, oh, don't go there. You know, you'll get robbed out there. They'll treat you bad out there. You know, they'll take advantage of you out there. Well, whatever you're looking for, you will find it. You know, so if I'm not looking for that I'm not going to run into that because that's not what I'm searching for.
Right.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm searching for.
Right. Right.
Ooh. Yes. That was just like, you know, when you just kind of like, there is so many like golden nuggets in what it is that you're sharing with us, and just so flowing and beautifully from your heart space. But you know, occasionally there's just kind of this like one thing where you're just like, no, we need to repeat that word for word. You know, that was just so good. Hey, our friend Zoake Zodu, I hope I'm saying your handle right. I hope I'm saying your name right. He's you know, they're asking, what type of diet do you subscribe to when you do desire to eat? You know, so if you are presumably eating solid foods, what type of diet then? What does that look like?
When I do, I like to stick to mainly like salads,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and then there are different types of liquids that feel heavier to me, like condensed
Mm-hmm.
soups, you know, maybe like tomato soup or mushroom soup, things of that nature. So, but for the most part, I stick to the outside aisles. So the aisles with the produce section, the aisles with the juice
Mm-hmm.
aisles, those on the outside, those are the ones that I stick to. But before I was all on the inside, you know, all going on the inside aisles. But now it's like those are dimmed and then the
Uh-huh.
juice is highlighted. The coconut water is highlighted. These things are
Uh-huh.
sticking out to me and I'm drawn to those spaces now. Whereas before, you know, the cookie crisp was highlighted. The cinnamon toast crunch was highlighted. You know, the hot wings were highlighted.
I
You
love
know,
how like, you know, you're saying all these things. I'm like, oh, we have those in England as well.
right.
And next time I
Right.
go into a supermarket or a grocery store, I'm literally going to look at the
Right.
aisles going, oh my gosh, is that how the aisles are organized? I've never noticed that.
Right. So I like to tell people, you know, the people that I have consultations with and clients that I
Yeah.
help as well, you know, we often we crave what we consume.
Mm-hmm.
We crave what we consume. So usually whenever you have a craving towards something, it's because you've tasted it before.
Uh-huh.
You know what it tastes like. So the body holds memory. The body holds memory very well. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't forget anything. So if I open the door to sushi,
Mm-hmm.
I have to close it again, you know? And
Yes.
sometimes it's not as easy to close it, you know?
Well, you know,
Yeah.
I remember as well. I saw a video that you posted, and you were sharing a story. You were driving, you had someone in your car, and she had a donut, right?
Yeah.
She had a
Yeah.
donut, and you know, and you'd really politely and beautifully asked, you know, is it okay, ma'am, if you don't eat that in the car? And she went to throw it out, and you're like, no, you don't need to do that. And then she said, I don't even know, you know, I don't even know why I'm eating it, why I got it,
Don't
right?
even know. Don't even
No,
know. Yeah.
but that like that links in so well because once we taste something, once we get that pattern,
Mm-hmm.
right, into
Mm-hmm.
our system, it can kind of bypass the actual sensation that we're maybe not wanting to feel, right? It can actually bypass whatever is underlying that because, you know, we may think that we need, for example, you know, selenium or something like that. Our body may say we need this mineral, and then we may go to chocolate or something like that, you know, to get that when really we can get that maybe from walnuts or something like that. I don't know. I'm not a nutritionist or anything like that, but you know, it's funny how we can kind of jump to one thing because of the instant hormonal release
Yes.
versus the actual wholeness and wellness,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
You make a great point. You know,
Mm.
you make a great point.
But tell us what was going through your mind. And I do want to come back to your coaching as well because I actually like I really want to hear, and I think everyone on here does as well, what it is that you well, just your offerings because, you know, you interview, you have your podcast, right? The Open Palm,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and you coach as well. And I know from just the short amount of times that we've had, really, it's only been quite short in linear time scale in this lifetime that we've connected like this. I know I've received so much. I've just been filled up so much, right? And I'm like, wow, you coach as well. And that's just perfect. I
Yeah.
mean, let's just go there first. Let's just go there first. We'll cycle back around to that woman with the donut, but yeah.
Yeah, and I like how you touched on the donut, you
Yeah.
know, and bringing it back with the donut too, because I often say like luxuries once tasted
Hmm.
become necessities,
Hmm.
you know? And I mean, think about all the things that we have today that didn't come from nature, you know,
Mm.
that didn't originate in nature, that don't grow in nature, you know?
Hmm.
And it's very interesting how we got here. And it wasn't overnight, it was over many nights. You know, it was
Yeah.
progressive. So it's
And
been a progressive journey. Huh?
how do you think we got there? Why did we get there?
Well, it's the same way that I feel like I got here, you know, with this progressive journey that I have with entrepreneurship, with business, with coaching, with doing podcasts, with doing podcast reviews, with having blogs, with being able to do YouTube videos, and with having these conscious conversations with like-minded beings. It didn't happen overnight, you know, it happened over many nights. So it was always a constant progression. Yeah.
I feel like there is so much more we can tap into here. I'm just waiting. I'm like,
I love your facial expressions because you have so much nuance in your face sometimes, Alex. You be doing the purrs sometimes.
yeah, it's like, you know, you never have to guess how I'm feeling or how I, you know, what I think or feel about something because I will show it. Very transparent with that.
Did you say that was the Scorpio moon or something within? Was that shows that sign? Because I know that's not the Virgo, right? That's not the Virgo, is it?
I don't know that it's either the Scorpio or the other Virgo, because the Scorpio usually is quite mysterious and quite kind of they see usually behind, as you said before, behind the curtain. Whoa, hey, look. Exactly. You see, we're going eye to eye here. Oh my gosh. Have you ever done that with someone? Just like literally eye to eye and just kind of, you know, seen into that space of the pupil, right? Have you,
Yeah. Eye gazing.
Wow.
Eye gazing.
Yeah. Now
Really
that's a way to feel that Kundalini rising, is to really gaze into someone's soul, right? That merging that happens, just, you don't even have to be touching. But anyway.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know, because you're that Scorpio sun as well, hey? So you know what that Scorpio energy is like. You know, you really find intrigue in the reasons why, in the kind of the motives and the kind of, you know, I don't know that the word psychology really is the best word to use, but kind of we want to see the inner workings, or we not just want to, but we can do, right? You know, and it's like, it's interesting, it's just fascinating. People fascinate us, right? So I don't know that the facial expressions are I don't know that that's really the Scorpio side, but maybe. Oh my gosh. But tell us about your coaching.
Yeah, what would you like to know, Alice?
Everything. I want to know when that, like, how does that look? What is it you, like, why would someone connect with you over, I mean, obviously your energy and your clear vision, right? And your resolute knowing and leadership, I would say, because you know who you are. That's what it seems, right? And when anyone, in my opinion, looks for a coach, is because they know something or are embodying something that whoever wishes to be coached desires, right? You know, we call that in. But what do people usually seek coaching for with you?
Yeah, you know, and I'm always humbled and honored to be able to be that person that somebody sees some quality within me that they feel like I could help assist them, you know, that I could assist them on their journey and just give them something from either my experience or something that I've already walked through. Because I love the Chinese proverb that says, to know the road ahead, ask those coming back. You know? Yeah. So ask someone who's been where you're going, and they can help you kind of move and maneuver around the potholes in the street. They can tell you to watch out for this because you might see that, you know, on that road. So to be that person and to guide, I mean, you know this as well, being able to guide individuals is just a privilege. You know, it's a privilege, and it's something that we don't take lightly, because we understand that we have a responsibility, and to come from that genuine place of authenticity in the heart space and to tap into that and to connect with a person like that is really awesome. It's really something I never even could have imagined that I would be in that position. So I'm always thankful and I'm always grateful for that.
Yeah.
So my sessions, we talk about things when it comes to either focus, procrastination, what might get somebody going, understanding what a person might want in their development, in their personal development journey when it comes to chronic living, or when it comes to their diet, or when it comes to just them just in general. I've had people talk to me about their relationships, talk to
Yeah.
me about their significant others, because
Hmm.
we've dealt with that and we have a lot of experience in that area. So it's, it's interesting where whenever you've been tested, you're left with
Hmm.
a testimony.
Yeah.
You have something that can touch
Oh.
somebody else. Yeah.
Oh, whenever you've been tested, you're left with a testimony.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely. And what have been, if you don't mind my asking, you don't have to answer this, of course, but what have been some of the most challenging tests that you've overcome, that you've, powered through and just gone, oh, got it. I got that. Yeah.
Yeah. And some of the things that I thought I had, I'm still getting, I'm still getting it in new ways. It's like, oh, I thought I
Mm.
had that. Oh, I guess I didn't have that as well as I thought I had
It's
it.
like an onion as well, you kind of get the first layer and you're like, oh yeah, no, I got this. And then it's like, oh, there's
Mm-hmm.
another layer. Okay, great,
Yep.
let's carry on.
And then come the tears, then come the tears with
Yes,
it,
those sacred cleansing tears. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So what have you found in your life? What have been some of the blocks that, between being born in this lifetime, right, and to where you are now?
Mm-hmm.
What for you have been some of the biggest kind of challenges that you've had to navigate? Those potholes in the road, you're coming back down that road and you're seeing me and I'm saying, hey, what was down that road? What do I need to be aware of? What did you
Yeah.
find there? Yeah.
Yeah. There were times where I had a lot of self-doubt, disbelief,
Mm-hmm.
unworthiness,
Mm-hmm.
feelings of lack, feelings of scarcity,
Mm-hmm.
feelings where I didn't truly believe in myself. I didn't believe in what I was seeing. And others believed in me before, sometimes before I truly started to believe in myself.
Mm.
And I feel like I was lucky to have people who were able to see things and pinpoint things in me that I didn't readily see within myself, that I didn't see
Mm-hmm.
when I was looking back at myself in the mirror. I didn't see all these characteristics, these traits and qualities that they spoke so highly of. So I'm still coming into that realization each and every day that, wow, there are amazing things that we can all do. And
Mm-hmm.
embracing that is part of what makes you you. So speaking to all those folks, about, my parents divorcing, my parents, all the relationships that I've seen come and go,
Mm-hmm.
and then wanting to please them, wanting to appease them, wanting to be someone that they revered or someone that they were proud of, and
Mm-hmm.
then having all these accomplishments and accolades, but then getting on stage in front of people and performing was something that I fell in love with so much, to the point where I just could look into the crowd as kind of, if you've ever seen the movie The Prestige, have you seen that movie?
No, no, but I'll put it on my list to watch.
Oh, please do. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's that's one of my top three of all time.
Is it? I'll
All
watch it
time film.
tonight.
All time. It's with Christian Bale and Hugh Jackman. It's called The Prestige, and it's about two magicians.
Uh-huh.
And I don't want to spoil anything because this movie, it has so many twists and turns. I
Yeah.
mean, it has so many plot twists within it. Just when you think it's over, it's not over, and then you still think it's not over. Is another thing, another
And is that
reveal.
what you feel? Is that what you feel like it's like for you? Just when you feel it's kind of like over or this challenge is over, it's like,
There's
oh, plot
another.
twist.
There's something else.
Yeah.
Like they say, the peak of one mountain is the bottom of the next. You know,
Yes.
we just keep climbing, we keep going, we keep ascending. Right?
Mm.
Yeah.
We do keep ascending, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I'm curious because I love the way that you go about just offering yourself, right? By the way, hold on. You were on stage? You do stage? What is that? What is that? You said I heard you say, I'm just gonna go back to that about a minute ago. You said stage. What do you do on stage?
Oh, nothing gets past you, Alice.
It's because I have a lovely little invisible, non-physical being in my ear going, go back to that. I was like, okay, let's
Right,
go.
right,
Yeah, those
right.
angels, they were really good at that.
Yeah, yeah. I love that you're able to listen, that you hear those things that some people don't. So going back to the stage, yeah, I started stage acting or scene acting on stage when I was pretty young. And the earliest I can remember, my mom looking up in a newspaper and seeing some summer camp with acting in it. And so she just threw me in an acting class, and I fell in love. I
Through.
fell in love, you know.
Yeah.
I remember the teacher, the lady wanted me to be the frog. It was the lead role. She said I had the potential to be the lead role, but I didn't want that role. I wanted the comedic role. I wanted to be the caterpillar because that was the one that made people laugh. I enjoyed it because it was funny, the comic relief.
Yeah.
So I became the caterpillar, and I became the cocoon, and then I became the butterfly, and I floated around the stage, and the audience, I just remember the parents were just laughing, they were clapping, they were just off on their seats, they were just laughing, and I never forget that feeling.
Wow.
You know, that feeling that I had in the audience when they were just laughing. And it just, I think something within that moment, it just solidified and crystallized in that moment. And that became something that I said, if I could do this for the rest of my life, I'll be happy. You know,
Yeah.
like I'm content. This is what I want to do forever. Yeah.
And do you still go on stage now? Like, do you are you awaiting your next role? Are you like, because I mean, the internet is your stage a lot of the time as well. I mean, gosh, you know, I see you online like, wow, a lot. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this guy he knows how to really work with what is around him. But yeah, do you go on stage like real life stage now? And are you an actor as well?
Yeah.
I
So
know
you're
that.
very perceptive. You're very perceptive, Alice.
Thank you.
So
Takes one to know one.
you know, I feel it was Shakespeare that said something to the effect that all the world's a stage.
Yeah.
You know, all the world. Yeah. And we're all playing a role here.
Oh, yeah. Tell me more about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. What does
So,
that mean to you?
it goes beyond, I did get my bachelor's in theater arts. So I did go on to college, and that was my major. So I did major in that, in acting and performance arts. And so going to all those theater classes and being with that guild and being with that group of individuals, going back to what we were talking about, environment. I think that was one of the greatest things I took from being in college and being in school, was not really the knowledge, but really the group, the individuals, the environment that cultivated that sense of childlike wonder and curiosity that remains with me today.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. And you utilize that so well, right? You know, so well. You connect so well with people in that playful, inquisitive way, right? And I think that's one of the reasons why people enjoy opening up to you so much and sharing with you so much. We've got our friend again saying, graceful movements, celestial dancer. Yeah, I think you are, you know, a dancer who brings on the laughter, and you work with that breath of life. When did you first get the flute? Did you ever tell us that today? When did you first get your flute?
I first got this one. What?
I'm just like, I'm sure we asked that, but we didn't get an answer. We're going to go back.
Yeah,
I
we're
want to
like
know. I love it.
jumping timelines. I love
We
how we,
are.
you
I know.
know,
I'm not even sure why this. I just trust it. But you know,
yeah.
normally it's a little bit more fluid. But yeah, I'm jumping quite a bit on this today. So apologies for
Well,
anyone struggling to keep up.
you are a quantum explorer, you know. You jump those timelines, don't you, Alice?
Oh, all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I got this one in Little Tokyo in the Japanese village. There was a gentleman, his name is Master Yoshi. And so
Ah,
he builds and he repairs and he makeshifts shakuhachi flutes. So he did mine, and he gave me a free CD, his album, with him playing the shakuhachi.
ah.
And so Master Yoshi, shout out to Master Yoshi. Yeah, from there.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I love that. I love that so much.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just like taking a breath right now. I'm like, whew.
Yeah. We can take one if you want.
Oh, always. I always love taking a breath with you. Yeah. Should we just take a breath with everyone right now?
Let's do it.
Let's
Let's
do it.
do it.
Just for a moment, let's just breathe in that nourishing, fulfilling air around. Do you want to twinkle a little on your flute as well?
Sure, sure, sure.
Oh, everyone, just take a moment, sit down, relax, and just feel the vibration that is being offered to you here. Wow. Oh, oh, Jerome. Wow. Ah, thank you. It's just so sacred.
It's a
That
blessing.
music is so sacred.
Wow. Thank you for receiving.
Ah, thank you. Such sacred expression. I'm just like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I can
You,
see why you start out every interview. I can see why you connect with that instrument, throughout the day. Yeah. So I'm just looking at Kira, just saying, you guys like the sun and moon. Thank you, Kira. So
blessing.
beautiful. Blessings, Kira. Magic of Murdoch.
Ah,
Hearts and namaste.
Brother Jack's in here also.
Brother Jack.
Yeah, Jack Murdoch.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
he's a
wonderful.
magician as well. I was just talking about magicians and he popped up. You see, that's no coincidence.
There's no such thing. There is no such thing, right? Oh
Mhm.
my gosh. No, wonderful, wonderful. So I got to ask, Mr. Scorpio Sun, you are nearly at your 6 month point. You're about a month away, or so I would imagine, from your 6 month trip around the sun, however you perceive that.
Mhm.
And I always find the solar return so fascinating. And Magic and Murdoch says, ta-da! It's just like, ta-da, no coincidence. Um, But I always find the solar return so fascinating. When it's your actual birthday, it is that like it's like your new year. But then the 6 month point is always so fascinating as well, right? So I ask for you, what is coming for you for the 6 month, right? Because we always, in my opinion, have a wonderful initiatory experience around them. We always find like a brilliant expansion and maybe even a refinement of path for the next 6 months. Do you find that at all? And if so, what do you see? What do you see being attracted your way? Or what do you hope to be attracted your way for the rest of this year?
Yeah, that is such an interesting question, and it puts me in that mind frame of thinking in the future, which I don't think that I often do consciously as much
Mm-hmm.
as I guess maybe other people do a lot of more planning, or I'm usually a much more go with the flow type of thing. So in the moment is
Mm-hmm.
where I like to be most of the time. And so I'm already attracting, I'm feeling it, I'm feeling it right now that this energy is flowing back to me and it's
Mm-hmm.
growing within me and it's growing around me. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
just enjoying where it's taking me in the now moment. So it's
Yes.
hard to say accurately or readily where I will be this time next year or even 6 months from now, because just right now it's already a ride. I'm enjoying the ride right now.
Yes,
Yeah.
brother, yes.
Yeah.
That's it. There is only right now.
Yeah.
Because even in a year's time, it is still right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that so much. Jerome, how can people reach out to you? How can they connect with you? Share with us. How can people connect with you? Mm.
Yeah, so the best way would be right here,
Mm-hmm.
Jerome Shaw, my Instagram. You'll see all the links in the bio there for you, and yeah, for your listening pleasure, for your reading
Mm.
pleasure, for your entertainment, for your enjoyment, for your
Mm-hmm.
empowerment, for your enlightenment, for
Mm.
your excitement, Yeah. Yeah.
Wonderful. And
Oh,
if there was one thing that you were to intuitively bring through, as you do already, you may not use those words, but that's how I perceive what it is that you're doing. You're channeling, right? What would you, how would you close this beautiful interview? What would you offer to our viewers, to everyone here watching this live or on replay?
wow. I would, first of
Mm.
all, I would give gratitude to you. I would thank you so much. Thank you for having me once again on your platform here.
Oh,
This loving environment of peace that you have cultivated and that you're continuing to tend like a garden of love and union, combining the masculine and feminine together, teaching us about the Kundalini energy, drawing in and ascending. Yes, I love it. See?
there we go.
Yeah, yeah. I just want to give gratitude where it's due and just appreciate you. So thank you
Thank
once
you.
again. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And wow, I can't wait to rewatch this. It's such a different experience when you're rewatching, right? Versus actually having the live dialogue. So I'm so looking forward to rewatching this. And just to phrase the last question in just a slightly different way, is there anything else that, and I know you're right now in the moment, so it may be completely perfect and perfectly complete already, but is there anything else that you want to share with anyone that is watching? Anything else that we didn't touch upon, or any topics that you think that you're just hearing from your guides or you're hearing from your inner guidance to go, let's just mention that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. One thing that I always love, and it's followed me ever since I played this game, it was a BioShock game. There was a character in this video game called Andrew Ryan, and he said, we all make choices, but in the end, our choices make us. And if you're watching this right now, even if you're on the replay, I just want to extend my thanks to you for taking the choice and for making the choice to consume maybe some different information, maybe things you've heard before, maybe things that you're now remembering, and just influencing yourself and expanding your mind with this new knowledge and information. And by you tapping in, the world taps in. By you shining, you're giving other people permission to shine as well. And the light that you see in someone is really just the light reflected within you. So thank you.
Wow. Yes, the light that you see is really the light reflected from within you. Yeah. Powerful, powerful stuff. Thank you so much, Jerome. Thank you from
It's
the
a
bottom of my
pleasure.
heart.
You crack
Wow.
me up, Alice. You be making me laugh. I be laughing.
Good,
You
good.
be having
We're
a
here for
great time
laughter.
on here. Yeah.
Always. It's so nourishing, as you say. It's so nourishing. And, thank you to everyone watching live or on the replay. Please do have a look at Jerome's Instagram, especially because wow, the wisdom. If any of the topics intrigued you, if any of the things that we spoke about or how we chose to speak as well, intrigued you and drew you in, have a little look through some of the videos that are on there, because I swear to God, in the most beautiful way, the content that is coming forth on Jerome's channel and everything that he offers is just so light filled, nourishing, and illuminating and expansive. Trust your intuition, click on the videos and the interviews that intrigue you, and just flick through, watch them all, whatever floats your boat, But you will find that you will only expand from that connection and that nourishment, and choosing to just drink him up as I am doing right now. So thank you, and have a
You know what you're doing. I love it. And if anybody is here, and if anybody, is here that knows me and doesn't know Alice, just to echo that as well, tune into these Pranic Sundays. She's been dropping gems on us every single Sunday. She's giving you energy edibles. She's giving you air appetizers. You know what I'm saying? It's happening. It's happening. So
It is
thank you.
happening.
Thank
Oh gosh, so much love to you all. Thank you.
you.
Mwah. Oh
Okay.
gosh, we'll get this up on YouTube and Facebook as well for people that follow me on the other platforms. And
Awesome.
thank you. Thank you. Bye for now, everybody.
Take care. Take care.
Bye.